Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. My name's Simon. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're a regular visitor, hey, look, thanks for coming back. So in today's video... Whoa, Simon. Aren't you forgetting something? Good point. Now, I wanted to say thank you so much because the YouTube channel just hit over 10,000 subscribers. And when I first started this channel 4 years ago, I never dreamt that would be a number that I would hit, let alone in such a short time. And doing YouTube is not easy. You make a lot of mistakes. There's plenty of people that will jump into your comments and write some very strange things. But I've really enjoyed the process and I'm learning more and more as time goes on. One thing's for sure, I'm still going to be talking about training. I'm still going to be giving the best evidence-based nutrition advice that I know and keep learning from. And I'm going to do more vlog style videos like the ones I'm doing now. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you so much for being part of the journey. It really is a lot of fun. Anyhow, let's get back to the video. So in today's video, I'm starting a challenge to get my Strava local legend back off Alan Ballou. He didn't just take a few laps off me, he was like the Terminator. He just never stopped.
Sarah Connor?
Yes?
But that's all right, Alan, because as the doctor says, allons-y! The local legend loop is nearly a perfect loop. It's just under 20 miles. It's a super popular route because it takes you out of Bideford town and pretty quickly you're onto the back roads, which is pretty traffic free. All the climbing is done right from the start. So once you're at the top of Powder's Hill, you're then onto some undulations. You've still got a little bit of climbing, but mostly you have a tailwind that pushes you home and it's really undulating and quick. So it's a lot of fun. Now I wasn't gonna get my local legend back, I was gonna leave it to Alan. But last weekend, one of my great mates, Calvin, looked at me rather oddly and goes, "What?" He goes, "The weather looks like it's gonna be amazing in Devon next week." And he looked me straight in the face and said, "I dare you to take it back." I looked at the weather forecast and for the latter half of the week here in Devon, it said it was going to be dry and sunny. So I got my head down Monday and Tuesday, wrote all the programs I needed to for the cyclists and athletes I coach, gave them all feedback and direction of what they needed to focus on, and then devised a plan to start putting loops together. So on Thursday, I could pull back a little bit, make sure everybody's sticking to plan, and then crack on again. Thing is, there's one key session I don't want to miss this week on the bike, even though I've got all this volume to focus on. So I'm gonna have to fold that in to what I'm planning on. But I feel fit, and as long as I get enough sleep and eat and fuel well on the bike, I should be all right. So that's what this video is all about. Come along with me on the journey, join me and the BMC road machine, and I'll talk about my pacing strategy and what I'm eating on the bike to stay strong and maintaining power right through this challenge. Let's go! Loop one done, going back for my second. I'm fueling this ride with about 50 grams of carbohydrate every hour to fuel this ride, but also in preparation for tomorrow. I want to make sure that I don't feel empty when I'm doing my efforts. I've gone and bought myself a new camera. It's the Insta360 Go 3S. So this is the first time out of the box I'm using it. Typically, like every other man, I haven't looked at the instructions, just pulled it out of the box. Hope I've powered it up enough and started playing around with it. So I'll probably get thumbs in everywhere and rubbish pictures, but let's see what sort of footage it gives. So far, I'm liking the fact that it's tiny and you can just take it off the magnet and start filming whenever you really want to. So it's much easier to film then using my phone. I've got some structure that I need to follow in the training, which is sweet spot and threshold efforts, and it's a couple of hours of a ride to do. I can bolt on a little bit more if I feel like it, so this loop is perfect for that. But then the rest of the week's pretty much steady. I can just get some decent volume in, and each loop of the loop that I'm doing, called Powlers, is over 1,000 feet of climbing, so it's actually quite a decent climbing challenge too. It's not crazy for Devon, but it's definitely not flat. That's me at Stibbs Cross. There's a big old lorry in front of me. And I think when you're riding steady, just to let the traffic go, not have any hassle from them, is what we should be doing as cyclists, and not holding people up. Hard to say when you're riding at an effort and you're trying to get home, but just don't want to get run over, and I've been run over once. It's not fun. I've taken to going through the back roads back home along these back paths to get away from the traffic since I've been run over, because it literally is the safest option. It's actually quite a nice chill way to go home. It's slower, a little bit longer, but do you know what? After getting run over, I'll take this option every time. Well, that's my first ride done, and Garmin's telling me I've done 48.97 miles in 2 hours and 48 minutes. Only got about 350 to do. It's the next day, and I'm looking at the footage from the Go 63S. Now, this thing is proper neat, and the cool thing is you don't need to carry this heavy little box with you. This is the camera, so it's tiny and it's really light. It's got about a 4-hour battery life, which is enough for making a video for YouTube, that's for sure. Now, to carry it, they've created this magnetic pendant which you put around your neck. Now, that I think is genius, and I have got some decent footage from it. But there's also an issue with it, is that sometimes when you put it back on, it's not straight enough. So you get this weird angle, and sometimes you just take video footage of your hands, which is not that great for YouTube. However, what I think's really neat about this is it's tiny and it's super light. So you can put it in your jersey and pull it out and start filming as you go along, and it's a lot easier to handle than a mobile phone. So I'm definitely going to play around with it and see whether I get some decent footage from it. I'm not quite sure whether I'm going to use this pendant, because as I say, when you stick it on and try and film from it, sometimes you get some rubbish angles, and you know, you want to be able to film and just know that you're filming the right stuff, and that's not good enough, I don't think. So let's just see how I get on with this in the future. Day 2 of trying to get my local legend back off Alan, and today I'm going to go and use my Insta Go 360. I like the Go 360S, but this can really take some great footage, so it'll be fun to film with that today. It's a tough training session today, so I do a long warm-up around about sort of 25 minutes, and then I've got a threshold effort up from the bottom of the hill to the top, and then drop back down about a 4 or 5 minute easy recovery, and then a sweet spot session all the way to Stibbs Cross, and then chill, and then all the way around again and repeat the effort. And if I'm feeling energized and I've got enough water, because it's really hot today, I will get 3 loops out. But to be honest, I haven't slept well the last couple of nights, and I get really bad bouts of insomnia. So sometimes it's better to really listen to the body and go, look, don't do too much today. And this session's tough in itself without having to stick a 3rd loop on. I'll just see how I feel. So day 2, and I'm heading up Powlers again, and I've bumped into this man who works at Cyclists and rides an absolutely beautiful deep purple Pinarello. So, introduce yourself, say hi.
Neil?
Neil?
Hi.
Hi. What kind of Pinarello are you riding?
This is purple.
Neil didn't want to come with me, so I cracked on and did my first effort.
First effort done. So the first effort going up the hill was ran about 310 watts for about 8 minutes, and the sweet spot effort for about 15 minutes was sat round about 290, 295, I hope, but I'll look at the effort when I get home on Training Peaks. I felt good, and I'll probably look at the normalised power because it is pretty undulating. Got to do that again now. That's me on my second loop now. I've got one more threshold effort and one more sweet spot effort to do. And I think I'm just going to leave it at 2 today because I want to keep the quality of these strong, and also the weather's good, I hope, on the forecast at least, so it's staying good for the rest of the week. So I'll just go and ride long and steady tomorrow and try and get out 4 or 5 laps nice and steady and break it up. So I'll leave at lunchtime and just ride a good solid zone 2 for 5 laps, which should be great training, and that means I can get to bed early tonight, eat well and recover. Right, second threshold set just about to come up. Oh, these hurt, but I kind of enjoy it at the same time. Righty, second set done. I'm going to ride steady home. I'm not going to do a third set. I'm going to go home, eat, edit this video, and then chill, because I'm going to ride long tomorrow. Long may this weather stay. Finally, some summer. Well, that's been a really good ride. My legs feel pretty good after that, which is great. It means I've drunk and eaten enough on the bike to put that sort of performance out. So I'll go back and have a look at the computer, see what Training Peaks says.
It's the next day. I was going to film this when I got back, have a look at my data, but actually I was blooming starving and needed to answer a few quick questions from the guys and the girls that I coach, and they come first. So having a look at my data now, both hill efforts were pretty solid at 308 watts, and then the sweet spot efforts were a little under, if I'm really honest, with where I wanted them to be. So they ran about 280, 285 watts right across the board. But actually, that's not bad. I think I had a bit of a tailwind going on there, which would probably be one of the reasons why it was a little lower. But it's a good training session, and I'm really happy with that. Righty, I'm going to leave that there today. I've still got a big challenge ahead of me. Tomorrow is going to be all about nutrition and making sure I'm hydrating because it's bloody hot out there. Keep your eyes out for that. And hey, look, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.